some rolling anti-lag or what?
Yeah. Whoa! Oh my God, that is nice, dude. That's smooth,
I know,
too.
it feels great.
This is Tyler with MCC. I'm here with Tarrin and an awesome BMW Z4.
Dude, you said you wouldn't do this. Oh my God.
Sorry. Okie dokie, you ready?
I think so.
A90 Supra.
Yep.
Why an A90 Supra?
I've always been a fan of Japanese cars. So like,
Okay.
I had, like coming right out of high school, I had an Evo.
Okay.
Evo 10.
Oh, those are, we like those.
Yeah,
those are good.
I sold that, and then I got an Evo 8.
Oh, cool.
Kind of regretted that because the 10 was like super clean, and then the 8 was just, it was just beat. I ended up driving my little Civic for the last like six or 7 years, and I was like, it's time to get something cool, you know.
Has this been the? I mean, I guess what's the first year they started making these?
2020.
Okay, so this is the first.
This is the first year.
This is the first year. This is the 2020.
Yep. So I bought it last April. The reason I
Okay.
went with the 2020 is because that's the only year that they come with an unlocked ECU.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So otherwise you got to do like the JB4, which is a piggyback tune.
Yep. Or you have to actually take the ECU out and ship it out.
You got to ship it to, I want to say it's Finland or something like that. It's
Oh
called
my God.
Femto, but
Okay.
it's way more expensive to do it that way, right? So
Right.
this one popped up. The price was good on it. It was in California. I got it out of Los Angeles, and it just kind of made sense. And like I said, it was super clean, and yeah, so I went with that.
Do you want to do a baby pull?
We
Just
can.
a little pull.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
Yeah, yeah. Give me a little taste of.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
Yeah, it goes. Ooh, that.
try and slow her down just a
Yeah.
little. Oh, do some rolling anti-lag or what?
Yeah. Whoa! Oh my God, that is nice, dude. That's smooth
I know.
too.
It feels great.
That's not like that's not too much or too scary.
No,
I know
it's-
you're not like really
Yeah.
going crazy, but like that's nice.
Yeah, no.
That feels good. I
It-
can understand why your daughter would be a little scared.
right. It's a lot of the low end stuff, like trying to do like from a dig or something. It's
Yeah.
just not. It's a little more sketchy that way because
Mhm.
if you're trying to throw all the power at it in like second gear,
Yep.
That's when it spins a lot. But yeah, if you're doing like a 60 pull or something, it's not bad.
What about when you're in a canyon or if I guess bogus is a lot tighter, but if you're going, you know, canyon driving,
Yep.
and if you come out of a corner and you get on it, are you worried about it kicking out? Like, do you have to kind of be careful coming out of the corner?
You do got to
depending
be a
on
little
which
careful.
speed or
Yeah.
Okay. So even though in the corner it probably sits real nice, you still got to be careful coming out.
If you just over throttle it, you can kick the rear end out pretty easily. And I don't know. I think the tuner that did the stuff on the car, I don't know if he adjusted like, I don't know, the tables. I don't even know if you could do that, but adjusted the traction control.
Yep.
I don't know if you can do that, but I
Okay.
feel like it doesn't have the stock traction control. It feels like adjusted. It's weird because normally when traction control is like super stock, you'll feel like the power cut.
Right.
Like, but I don't feel that at all anymore in this, so I don't.
So it might
know.
not have any traction control.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it probably has like some safety measures, but it feels way different from before I got it tuned.
Okay.
That way. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, it was.
That's great that you drove it some before you got it tuned too, so that you could kind of tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it did make a big difference just going from like an off-the-shelf tune, even running it with all the same mods, right?
Right.
Just an off-the-shelf tune to go into like a pro tune where you send the logs in and stuff. It made a big difference. I didn't think it would.
Mhm.
It was more so trying to get the what's it called? The flex fuel.
Okay.
Trying to get the flex fuel capabilities, and that's what I wanted.
Okay.
But then the additional like power that you ended up getting just made it that much better.
Right.
So, yeah.
Cool. So it's stock motor, stock turbo.
Mhm.
You've got a different intake on it,
Right.
and then you've got what do you have for an exhaust? HKS.
HKS. Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool. It's a valved exhaust too, so you can, click the little sport mode button and it'll
so
shut
that's
the
why
valve.
it kind of...
Yeah, so that's why when it's in the normal mode, you don't get all the burbles and the backfires and stuff.
Which we're doing just so that we can talk.
Exactly. Yep. So, but then, when we did the poll,
you
just open it up and you'll get all that. And it also changes like the transmission, the gear, the way that it reacts and everything.
Gotcha.
Too, so,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd see them everywhere and I'd be like, man, those things are sweet.
Right.
At first, I was kind of like off-put a little bit.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's off-put by these.
At first, I didn't like them. I mean, I liked the rear, but the front was just different. So I was like, I don't really like those.
Right.
And then just over time, started liking them, and then learned about the platform, right? Like how well the motor actually responds to like the tuning and the adding parts to it and stuff, and how reliable they are. I know BMW tends to get like a bad rap.
Yeah, but these motors are really good. What motor is it? It's the
B58.
B58. Okay.
Yeah, so,
this is one of the best motors they've made.
Yeah, I would say this one. I mean, I'm not like a BMW guy at heart or anything. I've never owned any BMWs other than, the one we're sitting in.
Yeah,
but,
technically.
Yeah, right. But so I don't know a lot about the history of the BMW motors, but just from recent research and stuff, I mean, I would say, the B58 is one of the best motors that they've made, aside from the S58, which is on M4s, and
that's another good motor. Yeah. So what are you pushing horsepower wise?
I don't know for sure, but
estimated.
Kind of the estimated. They say about 500 wheel horse, and then about what is that guy doing? About 600 wheel torque. Wow, that is.
She's just hanging out.
That is weird.
That is very weird. Anyways, we had a random person walking on the highway.
Yeah. 500 horse, 600 torque is kind of like what you could expect.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a lot.
It's pretty good.
Rear-wheel drive.
I mean, a little car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the car.
Do you know what it weighs, or around what it weighs?
I want to say it's like 3,300.
It's still pretty light.
Yeah. It's yeah.
And you've got, cosmetically, you've done a bunch of stuff to it. So you've got wheels.
Yep, the wheels, the carbon fiber front lip.
Yep.
And then the spoiler, the carbon spoiler. That's
tastefully.
Tasteful
stuff.
Trying to do it to where it's like nice and clean, not too much, right? Like
OEM plus kind of.
Basically. Yeah. Just wanted to be clean looking and not too much.
I'm really impressed with the lines on these.
Yeah.
Like I've seen them and I look and I'm like, that's a cool car.
Right.
And then I've never really that happens a lot when I do this type of stuff, is once I start filming the car, I start to look at it a lot differently. Like I start to see the actual design elements and how it flows.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this car, and I said this earlier, is this car flows as almost as well or as well as an FDRX7, like from front to back.
Yeah,
and except for the front bumper.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, if there's one gripe, that's definitely it. So,
but even that has grown on me, and it's
same. It's just that little point on the front.
Right.
That's the only thing.
Right.
If they would have like smoothed it out or something, I don't know. It would have, in my opinion, flowed a lot better up there. But yeah.
So what are some things you love about these? And why, or that you've learned over time that you continue to love about them?
I like how aggressive the car looks. Like I feel like it has a good road presence.
Yeah.
You see it.
It's got a great presence, like a very roadster, early 2000s roadster look to it.
I had a guy that I work with. He said it looks like a shoe because the front hood is so long.
Yeah.
And now that's stuck in my mind.
But that's the Z4s, the S2000s,
right? Yeah.
Even the MK4 Supras have a little bit of that shoe look. Like they have a pretty long hood on those too.
Yeah.
They're maybe not as narrow as this to look as much like a shoe, but
yeah, exactly.
I think all those cars kind of look like that. S2000s especially.
Yeah, so I got a kick out of that. But yeah, I just like how aggressive it looks. Like you get a lot of attention and stuff. It's fun. I mean, as like a car person, right? Like, it's one of those things that when somebody's like, "Oh, sweet car," or whatever, it gives you that good feeling.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you run it on E40 all the time? Do you?
No. So I just put it back on it, like
for
this week. Yeah. So I normally will run it on E40, like when the weather's good.
Mm-hmm.
But like through winter and stuff, like when I would drive it, like if the roads were clear or whatnot,
right.
I would just run it on normal pump gas.
And then for the summer,
yeah, nicer weather, you know, a little more power, because when it's cold, you don't know if it's gonna start snowing. I can drive it to work and then it's snowing a bunch, so I'm like, hey, well, yeah, less power would probably be good here.
Does it surprise you how quick this thing is?
I was actually surprised when I first got it. Like, it was a lot quicker than I had anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I expect, but then again, I was coming from just
your
a base
daily
model,
driver.
like Civic.
Yeah,
that I haven't drove anything cool in 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
And so maybe that's part of it.
But even from the Evo 10, because that's all-wheel drive, so
yeah, this thing's way quicker. Than
really?
It was. Yeah, but granted, I mean, I didn't have that like built or anything, so
fair.
It's one of those things that.
But even with the Evo 10 all-wheel drive, you're able to pick up way more traction.
For sure, yeah. That's the one downfall is this thing just has traction problems.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with the Michelins on it, it still gets loose pretty easily.
Yeah, I feel like it does. I don't know. I mean, I've done so much research and trying to find stuff. I'm probably just being a baby about it, but like, I don't know. I want to try and not spin as much as I can. Like,
right.
For instance, like going out to, you want to take it out to Firebird and see how it runs or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't know how well the tires are going to hold, and so like, can you get a true gauge on like what the car actually runs?
Right.
Because it's just spinning the whole time. Like, not really, but.
Has anybody figured out like what these do run, or run them a lot in the forums or anything? Have you seen anything on?
Yeah.
I guess most people are probably tracking them like from a road course type of deal, more so than a straight line. But
yeah, there is quite a few people that run. I mean, they run at like Texas 2K and stuff like that.
Okay.
I could be mistaken, but there was one that ran like a 7.7 or something in a quarter. I mean,
well, it's just these motors are
they're
super
just
capable.
Nuts, so, I don't know. It just depends on, I guess, who you talk to, really. Because obviously they'd make a really good like road course car.
Right.
They're small and they could corner good.
Have you done any? Do you have any other plans for the car? Like any other changes or?
So right now, I think I'm just gonna do, like I said, a couple cosmetics. I just did the lip.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe gonna do like some side skirts and like the rear spats.
Yep.
And just have it kind of all match, like where it's just a nice clean look.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to try and start doing more like performance-wise, but the stage that the car's at right now, the only other stuff to do is basically port injection, a bigger turbo, and then like a built trans, really, and then like some axles, of course, and whatnot. But then, I mean, you look how much money you're going to spend for all of that, and
what are you gaining out of it?
Exactly.
You know, maybe you're pushing 900 horsepower, but then the car's almost undrivable at that point.
And I'm not going to freaking there's not going to be anything else to do at that point.
Yeah.
So it's like no real rush. So like I said, it's trying to make it, I don't know, unique in a way, or make it look a little different than the other ones that are around town or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I said, just a nice clean look.
I like the color of this too. Like you were saying, it kind of looks blue a little bit in certain sunlight, and it was on my little screen, so I don't know how it'll show up on this thing, but when we were doing rollers, you could almost see some of that in the. It's just got such good lines to it.
Yeah, I feel like it does have a bluish tint to it, depending on like the clouds in the sky and stuff. I've had people ask me before, is that like a blue? I'm like, it's called gray. Like it's called turbulence gray.
Turbulence gray.
Yeah.
What don't you like about it, other than the front bumper?
Man, I think it's really just the traction stuff, honestly.
Really?
Like performance-wise, because I really like the car. Like, I don't know, it's really hard for me to find like a drawback on it. But I think that would have to be the one thing. Just the traction. I mean, it spins a lot, and I mean, if you do anything else, it's just going to get worse. You know? So and obviously rear-wheel drive, a little car that's got like a short wheelbase. It can get pretty rowdy pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's it doesn't feel like super uncomfortable. It feels like Toyota did a good job intuitively with the interior. It's got the classic BMW like dial.
And the classic BMW screen.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the chime.
It does.
I'm surprised they put that in there.
Yeah, it's everything's BMW.
So yeah, I guess it really is a BMW interior, huh?
Yeah, it's fully a BMW. I mean, the handles are the same as the BMW. I mean,
So
yeah, it's a BMW.
Really the only thing that's not the BMW is the body,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because there's the interior, the compute, and it's the same compute ECU.
Yeah, everything. I mean, like even the batteries.
They're BMW.
Yeah, BMW batteries.
No way,
like
really?
Everything. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh my god.
I mean, I first got it, and you hear all the jokes online and stuff, and I don't care. I just lean into it.
Yeah.
It's fine. BMW's a good brand, and so whatever. But yeah, I was doing something, pulled out the liner in the back, and BMW batteries. I'm like, all right, it's everything.
And the first thing I noticed on the engine was the BMW.
Yeah. Yep.
Does it annoy you at all that people are like that, or no?
I don't, like I said, I don't really care because
Yeah.
the car performs great. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks phenomenal.
I guess it's like a purist thing, right? Like,
I think
Toyota built motor.
It doesn't have that JDM or Japanese touch to it from a drivetrain standpoint, but at the same time I feel like most of the stuff now has to be built here anyways, so it's going to be a little bit kind of Americanized no matter what.
Right.
And also it's years and years of Americans not wanting that has forced companies like Toyota and Honda to shy away from that. Like the S2000 is a perfect example. Not enough torque, not enough power. It sucks. And it's like only Americans say that, and it's 20 years later and they're finally getting their due.
Right.
So it's probably going to be the same thing with this. Oh, it's a BMW. Oh, no, it's not a real Toyota.
Yep.
And then in 10 years, everyone's going to be like, that's really, really, really cool how it's a Toyota and a BMW.
Right.
And be completely head over heels about it. I tell you what, I'd rather have this car with this motor than the 86 with a Subaru motor.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sorry, Derek, but
it would have been cool if they would have put because there's actually a 2.0 version of the Supra. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So it's the B48. I don't know a lot about that, but man, if they would have put that in the GR86,
that thing would have been
uncontrollable. And those are pretty good motors too. So.
They would have had to tune that thing down so much for that little car.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd do the front bumper ever on this thing, or do you? It's just
to the Adro one, swapping it out.
Yeah.
I probably would. I don't know.
Well, I guess here's a question: how long do you think you'll keep this? Is this right now? I want to keep it long term until I see something that I like better.
That's the plan for now, is to keep it. The only car I think I would swap it out for right now would be, and they actually haven't even came out, but an M2.
Okay.
It's got the S58. It's a super light car, but they've only done rear wheel drive in the M2s up to this point, and then I think this next model year they're going to put X-Drive in them, so you could get an X-Drive M2.
Granted,
it'll weigh a little more.
Like the M4.
Yep. And so it'll be a smaller chassis, and it'll have the S58 in it, so it'll be a relatively small car.
So that could be something you'd consider.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
But I've also heard too, the X-Drive in the BMWs responds so well that it kind of I don't know, it doesn't take the life out of the car, but the car is not as lively because it's just driving really well. Whereas something like this, you kind of gotta,
Yeah, it was because I did an episode with Tyler's M4 with X-Drive. And he had adjusted it, it was 70-30 or something, giving it more rear.
Yeah.
Or he could turn it off completely, but he didn't. And the way that thing would drive and the way he had to drive it was so different than anything else I've really experienced. It was and he even said, he's like, the feedback you get from this, I had to learn how to drive this differently than most cars.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things. I guess you'd have to try and try it out and see if you liked it, but then again, it's not like you can really rent a car. I guess if you lease it, you can, but then again,
I'll find you a new M2 to drive when it has X-Drive.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'll test one for you.
Yeah, but I think that's the only car I would consider up to this point.
Yeah.
Just financially on the car. I mean, I'm just way up on it, luckily. So I guess if I ever wanted to get rid of it, it would be like putting a pretty massive down payment on a car, right? But still, I'd be going a little bit backwards because
it's
I just don't owe a ton on this car. So
And sometimes it's nice to have a fun car and not have a car payment
I
once
know,
you're done
right?
too. It's
Yeah.
like, have you always been interested in cars since you were younger? Or is it like more of an adult thing that
Yeah,
became
no.
a-
I mean, just ever since I was little, you know, back when like the PlayStation 1 was out or whatever, playing Need for Speed.
Yep.
And God, there was one, I don't even remember what Need for Speed it was, but like the last car you would get was I want to say it was the McLaren F1, the very end. And
Oh,
you're
I don't
like,
know which
my
one that
God.
was.
I don't even remember. It was like way before like Most Wanted or.
Okay, so it had to
any
be Underground one. It
No,
was
even
before that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know what one that was.
I would have to look it up. It's been so long, but.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was. So it's been really ever since then, and then obviously like play all the games when you're growing up. So it's
Right.
You know, Underground, Most Wanted, Midnight Club.
Yeah, yep,
you know, stuff like
yep.
that.
Dub Midnight Club 3 and
Yeah,
stuff
Dub
like that.
Edition.
Yeah,
know,
Dub
put
Edition.
Put some
Yeah.
spinners on your,
Yeah.
on your whatever.
I know, because you can get like SUVs in that one and
Yeah.
stuff too, like Escalades and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Is anyone in your family into cars, or is it just you? Or
My brother's into cars.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything.
Right, but he
that
has an
prideful over
interest.
it. He does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he likes. So I can always talk to him about stuff, and
how's your wife feel about it?
she likes it. She always like gives me crap where she's like, "You like your car more than you like us." I have a daughter.
Okay.
And I'm like, I haven't had a cool car for a while. Like, it's not valid, anyways.
It's
but
just your hobby. It's just your
it's,
thing that you're
it's
interested
cool.
in. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
How old's your daughter?
She's 6.
6. Does she like it at all, or?
No. It's kind of like mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken her in here before, and I think it's just a bit much sometimes. So she.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just one of those things that I think she thinks it's cool.
Right.
But it's like scary to her in a way too.
Yeah, you try to baby pull with her, and it.
Yeah, she's like, "Dad, no racing anymore." And I'm like, all right, sorry.
That might change when she gets
Yeah.
older. You never know.
But like she'll, you know, if I like pick her up from school or take her to school, she'll be like, "I want him to bring that car." Like, you know, it's
She
like,
does?
It's like she knows it's like.
Yeah,
a cool
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
you know? Yeah. So it's.
I want everyone at school to see that.
I know, like, yeah, my dad has a Toyota Supra because she knows the name and everything. She
does?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That must make you feel good when it's like, I guess I gotta take the Supra out to pick her up.
I know, right?
Yeah. That's
Yep.
awesome.
And you get little kids too. I mean, that, like I said, that goes back to like getting compliments on the car
Right.
and stuff. Little kids see it, oh my gosh, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's always trying to seek, I don't know, gratification.
Well,
It makes you feel good.
There's a good feeling there's a good reason for that to come up, right? If you're buying cars and doing stuff to cars solely for that,
Right? Yeah. No.
then that's
a little different.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, or just that's not a great reason.
No, it's just cool because if somebody else appreciates it, like I want to be able to like be there or you know, be around or
right. And you've also if you appreciate when other people are giving you the compliment because of you spent the time and the money to do the research and buy the car and made the investment because you really like it and put work effort into upgrading it and doing things to it and then somebody else takes an interest in it. It's like it's just a validation of all your hard work and
like you said,
your
really,
investment
because if they enjoy it, like that makes it super cool.
Like somebody else has the same interest I have.
Especially when it's little kids, because little kids, they don't have like, I don't know,
a mean bone in their body or an alternative motive.
Exactly, like it's just, that's like an authentic reaction.
Right.
So it's just cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's not a Z4.
It's a Supra.
Yeah.